One of your slides should have a term used in an interesting way. It could be a term you don't know. I think whist is an old-fashioned term that I'm not really 100% sure what that means. So it could be that. It could be a term that you know well, but it's being used in a different kind of way, so you might want to look it up to see definition 5, 6, 7, or 8 and see if one of those definitions helps clarify the way it's being used in the poem. So I decided for mine I want to look up this word. So all I did is look up whist definition, and guess what popped up? Not even the word. Okay. Whist, past participle of wit. That's interesting. So I'm going to go down here to this Merriam-Webster whist definition and meaning and see if that gets me something more. It's a transitive verb. Gosh, see, I told you that Coleridge is trying to use some terms that are not in our normal lexicon or even his own. All right, the meaning defined above. Whisted, whisting, whists, to know. That is the definition. It's almost more like a synonym. I almost missed it, in fact. All right, so let's look at what Merriam-Webster Dictionary offers for citation in MLA format. This is actually a good one. Isn't that nice? You could just use that. So copy citation. If that is my term, that's like it goes in the place of the article title, so it gets quotation marks around it. Then italicize the container, which is a website. It contains our definition of whist or article. And then this is the publisher sponsor, this is the URL, and it gives you the access date, which I'm not sure you really need anymore in MLA 9, but it's fine if it's there. I'm not going to be too picky about it. You should follow your instructor's requirements. So I already have my works cited. I love that. I noticed that it starts with a W, so W comes after all of these. Let's see how it does with my formatting. I'm not confident. Okay, so I don't like that. I'm going to try pasting again. The reason I don't like it is it both changed the font and did not keep my, okay, it did the same thing. Let's change some things. For example, the font should be Times New Roman to match the rest, because you shouldn't have all of them just randomly there. So this is my article title. Remember, the container is whatever title comes after the title that's in quotation marks. Okay, so this is the title of the bigger thing that contains this smaller thing. All right, this is the publisher sponsor, no need for italics. You know I like the links. I know some instructors really don't, but I'm going to find a make that link happen. I'm going to do this, I think, as I did in another video for you. I like the links. I can't help it. I just think that eventually the links are going to be just part of it. Okay, will it get rid of the link if I do that? No. You want a period after it? Look, it changed the font again. I just like them to be the same. Access date, you can have that or not. So that part's done. Now I need to get to my slide and think about how I'm going to describe the term that's used and how it helps inform my understanding of that stanza and maybe the overall poem. So I know that whist means no. I can see from the way the lines end that Coleridge is using this word maybe because it rhymes with mist. Then he uses it again at the end of the first line of the next stanza. So a sense of knowing might be important. So I'm going to explore that with my interpretation. What I want you to do is make sure to include your textual evidence. So whatever sentence contains that word that you have defined, that's what you need to quote as your textual evidence. I noticed that the sentence here starts at the beginning of the stanza and ends at the end of the stanza. So I'm going to be using a blocked quotation format to quote this. A full sentence doesn't end with a semicolon, so just be aware. Look for the periods, look for the beginnings and ends of your sentences so that the idea is complete and you can discuss it more fully. So when I pasted in the text from the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, here it is, I just hit copy text and then I pasted it in and it did this. It didn't happen to land in stanza format. So I hit enter, but it's a blocked quotation, so I want to hit tab to make it a block. But watch how the font is getting tiny every time I hit enter. That's annoying. I don't want that little dot there. Also don't want this little bullet point here, so I'll fix that. I do want each line to be on its own. I can't remember where the line break is. I better look. Okay, I got it right. So, all right, we don't want this to be tiny unless we need it to be tiny for the sake of space. That may happen. But you can size that. We might need all of this to be smaller, in fact. For now, anyway. Don't make it under 20. 24 is really best for the class to see. We want everybody to see your wise thoughts that you present. All right, so now I want to backspace. Why is this not giving me a place I can go here? I'll figure this out and let you know. Don't know why that was doing that, but using this little key got me where I need to be, because as you write a block quotation, you do not start a new paragraph when you are about to explain what's happening. All right, I'm going to have to battle the font size the whole time. But anyway, I will now use the definition of whist to help make my point. And I'm going to say, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, if that's right, yes. And then I will give the definition. To understand the implications of the terms you're defining or the symbols or any part of your assigned stanzas, you may have to read before your stanzas and after your stanzas, and it's okay to reference or allude to those the content there so that your definition makes sense. Okay, so you should read the entire poem so you understand more fully what your stanzas are contributing to the overall meaning. So to understand whist and the knowing, I had to read on so that I can see that in the mist there is that possibility of death. Is that death? And are there two? Is death that woman's mate? So there is death and life in death. So I will include, without quoting, I'm just going to say that later death is approaching. And that will not reveal too much, but it will give the reader a sense of the importance of the word whist here. Also notice I did not include the line numbers, and I should do that here. So again, to count your line numbers, you have the line numbers here, and so 150 seems to be about here, so 149, 150, 151, 152. I would like to see you highlighting yellow your parenthetical citations. I would like to see in red your signal phrases. If you use more than a phrase, you can embed quotations like this. You can use a signal phrase, just like according to Wikipedia or Coleridge writes. These are the simplest kind of signal phrases. This one is more of an embedding. This is a formal introductory element before a quotation because it is a full sentence followed by a colon. And that's standard for quoting or using a block quotation format. Also notice the block quotation does not have quotation marks. You write the quotation the way you see it in the text, and you end with no quotation marks, and the period stays here. There should be no period here. Okay, good thing I'm pointing that out so that I can fix my own work. All right, so let me finish this up. All right, so I've completed this slide. I want to make my font match because I just think it looks good, and I want to center a title for the slide. All right, what happened to my slide? There it is. So that's the completed slide for the term used in an interesting way. So good luck. Don't forget to do the works cited for your defined term. Also, you will have the poem itself in your works cited. This is, by the way, not works cited, bibliography, because anything that you use to help you understand the poem, for example, if you're using the YouTube video explanations, that should go in your bibliography. Bibliography means any source you use. Works cited means only things you've quoted. So that's why we are using a bibliography.